Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Raw review with the one and only team, that is, the British Fist.
Ka-ching!
As we do our usual fist pump, ka-ching needs to trend on Twitter, doesn't it, NJ?
Indeed.
I am Mr. Parkin, and as you well know, this guy sitting next to me in this lovely leather jacket, it's NJ.
What's up?
Now make sure you guys subscribe up above, of course, like this video, and of course keep commenting your videos keep commenting your thoughts, I should say, after 1 year's worth of comments. Don't stop it now.
Where's your contact us in the link in the box below?
Indeed. So tonight we are going to be reviewing Raw, and before we start this review, I just want to send WWE a little bit of a message via NJ here. Now, we were talking a little bit off camera about how we used to look forward to Raw on Monday nights, and you know, you had something you wanted to say to the YouTubers about your feelings towards Raw lately?
Well, the thing is, I've always been a huge fan of WWE, but like for recently, well, 2011, my enjoyment of saying, oh, Monday night's my favourite night has become less. The Raws have just not felt the same or gave me the excitement of watching them.
And that's just because of the quality of the shows, is it?
Sadly, yes.
Okay.
I'm still enjoying it, but just not as much as the WWE would want us to.
Hey, at least we've got these videos to look forward to and stuff, right?
Very true, yes.
Yeah, okay then, so let's get on to the opener of this show. Hopefully this Raw is a bit of an improvement over the last couple of weeks. We open up with a genuine surprise of Mick Foley opening the show. It's quite strange, wasn't it? But he got a nice reaction, talking about how it's just one more dream to be in the ring one more time for his kids, wants to be in the Royal Rumble. It seems like he's done more to hype the Royal Rumble than a lot of the WWE superstars lately, haven't they?
Well, the first thing to come out about the Rumble being the opening of the show, it was very nicely done. I thought it was what we needed to hear, the Rumble being mentioned.
Exactly, especially by a legend such as Mick Foley. But then we get a very interesting segment with when you get Ziggler and Vicky Guerrero coming out, and you get this whole interaction between Mick Foley and Ziggler. I think we both clicked to each other at the time that could this be WWE laying the foundation for maybe a Ziggler Foley feud, a feud which I think could really give Ziggler a lot of credibility.
Well, in the past, we've seen the WWE using legends to put other guys over. So I'm thinking with this example, yes, they could be using Mick Foley to put Ziggler over more.
Yep, and he basically comes out making fun of Mick Foley for being too fat and everything. And the interaction between the two was very good to a point where I could say to myself, God damn, I would actually love to see a feud between these two guys and see Dolph Ziggler get put over like Orton, like Triple H, like Edge, people like that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, with these two, the way they were going at it, I'm really thinking that maybe if the WWE wanted to, after Royal Rumble, they could have a feud.
Yeah, Ziggler's still pot-shotting as usual, but Mick Foley did his job to come back on the mic. We then get CM Punk coming out. This is a genuinely interesting segment to start with. You have CM Punk coming out, and everyone is pot-shotting around everyone, aren't they, really? And Punk hypes his and Ziggler's match towards the Rumble. So this segment very much did tie in with the Rumble and maybe set up some stuff in the future which we could see. Johnny Ace coming out was a little bit but at least he comes out saying he'll call the match down the middle and that Foley won't be in the Rumble. At least it all ties into the Rumble. That's a good thing.
Yeah, the thing is, I was enjoying the whole Ziggler and Mick Foley. I know Punk was going to come out because obviously the feud thing, but I was enjoying the Mick Foley and Ziggler segment.
So was I.
Going really well, gave us a possibility that coming at the Rumble or even after. But obviously the rest of it just got a bit full of it. Just the ring got a bit full.
It did get a little bit clusterfuck. I did think Dolph Ziggler got a little bit buried in the segment itself, but I still enjoyed the interaction between Ziggler and I still enjoyed all the interactions between Ziggler and Foley and Punk and everything. So it wasn't too bad of an opener. I say this, even though it went on a bit long, it was still a decent opener to start the show. I'd say that.
It was just.
After this, we get Air Boom versus Epico and Primo because Air Boom lost their tag titles at a house show. Why? When you could have done this on Raw or hyped it to the Rumble at least, given us another match. This is strange, wasn't it, WWE doing this?
Well, having the house show, I was thinking, okay, you've announced that they lost it on Raw, but you could have had this match replayed at Rumble. Yeah,
and they had a match. They had their rematch tonight again, which probably shows that it's not going to happen at Rumble. No entrances get shown. We get footages of the house show win, which I guess is okay. No entrances getting shown though, guys. And I was leaving this match. This was not a bad tag match, but I was leaving this match thinking, God, I wish they'd have built this to the Rumble. Epico and Primo win as they probably should have done. It looks like that this whole Air Boom thing really is going to get shot down a bit by WWE, maybe coming down hard on Evan Bourne.
Well, the first thing I noticed about this match, it was going pretty well. It was a good tag match I'm going to give. Near the end, it reminded me so much of how they lost their championship. So it's kind of replay of that. But overall, again, the right people won, I guess, 'cause it would have been stupid dropping the title straight away. So I guess the right team won, even though this should have been hyped up for the Rumble.
It definitely should have. It would have been another match, wouldn't it, as well, which, would have been hyped up at least for the Rumble, but we didn't get it. So what can we do about it? We're just wrestling fans. Jericho is going to be in the 6-man tag in the main event, which is going to be Punk, Bryan, and Jericho versus Henry, Ziggler, and Otunga.
The first thing I want to say about this, the match weren't advertised as a 6-man tag at the beginning. It was advertised as a tag match.
Yeah, it was.
So changing their plans, I was thinking, okay, advertise one thing, give us the next, whatever.
Last minute writing there, WWE. Just going to put that out there. After this, we had a video package of what happened last week between John Cena, Ryder, and Kane. And, I thought the video package was quite good, but I really didn't understand where Swagger fitted into this and why the hell Swagger was getting a shot at the US Championship. When was the last time you won a match on WWE TV in general?
I guess this was Laurinaitis saying, sorry for your match last week, here's what we're going to give you, good luck with it.
I just wonder where this title shot has come from, I don't know. But, the whole video package was good. The Kane Cena thing is coming along okay, I guess. In the match itself goes about 2.5 minutes. Swagger focuses entirely on the injured back. So I guess it's kind of understandable that Ryder would lose this match even though he was injured. And the fact that Swagger didn't really legitimately get this shot. It looks to me like they're either going to develop a feud between these two or they're going to write Ryder off TV or the US title or something. I don't know.
Well, the way I look at this match, again, I think with Ryder being injured, the best thing to do was to take the title off him just so it's not just floating around doing nothing. Maybe Swagger can put the title on the line against other wrestlers. I don't know. But the match itself, sure. Again, for an injury, it made sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit weird, wasn't it? Jack Swagger getting this belt so quickly. And so maybe Zack Ryder does have an injury. I don't know. But I guess, I don't know. I mean, after all that build you just put behind Zack Ryder and they just had him lose the title to Jack Swagger. Not only that, but we had the first 2 matches were title matches. Title matches, the first 2 matches on Raw?
Yeah, the first match, again, we told you our thoughts on this. The second match, well, it was just pretty quick and easy, nothing to it.
Yeah, a bit like this next match. Kelly and Alicia Fox versus the Bellas with Perez Hilton on the special guest ring announcer. Perez Hilton stops Twin Magic and allow Kelly to get the roll up, and I'm thinking another pointless Divas segment, and I really want the Tea Time guys to come back and do these.
With the Divas match, I'm thinking it was pretty stupid because you could predict what was coming. Because with an interference with him at the ringside, you knew it was coming. I was disappointed in this. Again, we're all waiting for the return of Beth Phoenix.
God, Perez Hilton would have sold that finger poke of doom well, wouldn't he? Oh my God, that selling was awful. Next segment, come on, let's just go on to the next segment. Next segment, we get R-Truth coming out to cut a promo, but then Barrett cuts him off straight away, and I'm thinking, R-Truth and Barrett? Interacting in a promo? It was a nice little interaction, I mean, don't get me wrong. Barrett cuts a promo about winning the Rumble. Truth cuts a nice little happy promo about being in Disneyland. Quack, quack!
The thing is, he really got, again, in Barrett's face. He spoke about how Barrett needs to smile. He goes on showing all these Disney pictures. It was comedy. It was very funny. And I just think the fact that Barrett just did a serious face just told how Barrett's character is compared to R-Truth.
I don't know how he didn't laugh, but I mean the R-Truth gimmick is getting cornier, but it's still quite funny. So, but then we get Miz coming into the ring to attack Truth from behind, and then you get Barrett beating on him as well, and then you get Sheamus coming out to save the day, and Teddy Long makes a 4-way over the top rope challenge between Truth, Sheamus, Barrett, and Miz. So 2 of my picks are in this 4-way. The promo leading up to this was okay, just Teddy Long coming out on Raw to make a match was just like, ugh.
Well, the look at this, we thought tag match straight away, so the fact it came up to an over the top was so different in Teddy Long's booking, and we knew a match was going to come because of how it was flowing, and again, with this tag match, I guess it was a fair match. It's going to be a fair match anyway.
Yeah, the Fatal 4-Way. Basically this segment, I mean, I could point the positive out. It hypes up 2 feuds, Truth and Miz, and also it's hyping up that Sheamus and Barrett match for SmackDown. It's Royal Rumble related, which is a big positive at this point due to the way that WWE have really poorly built this pay-per-view. We get Barrett eliminated first, that's one of my picks gone, and R-Truth wins. And I'm finding it funny lately. I mean, my 2 picks didn't win this, okay. Sheamus and Barrett. I'm finding it funny that how Truth is winning almost everything he's in at the moment, isn't he? He's on a roll.
Well, the thing is, I think they're all building up to make R-Truth's character look strong, and then obviously when it comes to the Miz actually getting the win, maybe it will look like a good win for the Miz.
Yeah,
but maybe lead up to that eventually.
There wasn't too much interaction between Barrett and Sheamus, considering they have a match on SmackDown. But this segment was good overall. I thought. I just didn't think that Sheamus needed to bro kick Miz at the end. I didn't think that was needed. That's almost like pointless Orton RKO kind of.
No, again, the whole segment was basically two pairs going off. Yeah. So for Sheamus to get involved with R-Truth and Miz was a bit maybe not needed. They could have just left it there and then. But then again, the whole segment there, it gave us some Rumble feeling and future feuds there. Yeah.
The next segment we got, I thought was a good segment. We get Cena versus Kane made for the Rumble, apparently. And then Cena is facing Jack Swagger next. And the whole thing happens when Cena just comes out and kicks Jack Swagger's ass. He was being pretty badass on Swagger, wasn't he? He was stiff-shotting him. He was being all heel on his ass. And just won the US Championship and you're already burying him.
Well, seeing this rage that Cena's got is obviously leading up good because obviously he's going to be facing Kane, this monster who's been built pretty well. So for him to show his frustration on someone like Jack Swagger, not someone that important, I think it was really good to see.
I mean, even though he's a US champion, he is essentially a jobber. But I don't know. He's just won the US Championship, and then this is happening. I guess it's kind of understandable as Cena would have hate towards Swagger in the sense that Ryder was injured and he gave up his title shot for Ryder to get that shot all the way to the US Championship.
I still think the booking of the match was stupid. Swagger did not need second match. Laurinaitis did not need to make this. I really thought they could have just maybe concentrated on Kane and Cena instead of having this match, but I just didn't agree with this match.
I still enjoyed seeing Cena, be a bit of a badass, and Kane interferes on the Titantron, saying that by the Rumble, John Cena will, embrace the hate. Still don't think Cena's going to turn heel, and why would I think Cena's going to turn heel at this rate? Exactly. Next, we have a weekly dose, double weekly dose of fun in the Funkasaurus Brodus Clay versus the Jobber JTG. J standing for Jobber, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Jobber to go. Oh, this was some fun. Somebody call my mama because this shit was fun.
This match, again, the length was good compared to just a 10-second shorter match. And the fact that it went and beat up JTG, again, it's building up his wins on Raw and SmackDown, so that's the positive I can see in this.
And he got a little bit more of a reaction this week, probably because people knew what was coming. And they did do something different with the entrance, having the two girls, Cameron Lynn and Naomi, announce the Funkasaurus, which is good. So it's nice they're doing some different stuff with him. Again, another fun segment, even though it wasn't really very meaningful, but still quite a fun segment. Hope to see this guy in the Royal Rumble. Him and Rikishi in a dance-off at WrestleMania. Imagine that.
Well, it would be good to have him in the Rumble. Obviously, have a big, dominant bass guy going through, doing stuff. Would be good to see. And WrestleMania, who knows?
Yeah, and after this, we get, the rest of the show. We get a video package of the AJ incident from SmackDown, which was just like, oh, God, we didn't like that, did we? But we get Daniel Bryan coming out saying that if shows up on SmackDown, he will pay. Yeah. And at this point, I'm thinking, he hypes up his match on SmackDown, which was good, but I'm sitting here like, he's on a face team on tonight's main event. He's just been canned heated booed on SmackDown. Is this guy face or heel? Just saying. I'm just putting out there, this is a legitimate question. Is this guy face or heel? Because I can't tell. I really can't.
When I look at Daniel Bryan, I think, obviously, he's going against Big Show, so he needs this heel character to be kicking in soon. But going to a face team is not really going to help his push towards a heel.
No, and he's against Mark Henry as well, who's a monster heel, so you'd have to assume he's the face there.
At the moment, yes.
Who knows what's going to happen? So that was the pre-match thing. That was to hype up the whole, SmackDown main event thing, I guess, which was good. They've hyped up both the SmackDown matches on this Raw show, which was a positive I could take.
And he was just wanting Big Show to stay away because he just wants to show AJ how much he loves her or respects her, whatever, by beating Mark Henry.
How dare you utter those words, MJ? AJ loves me. She doesn't love that Daniel. She loves this Daniel. I love you, AJ. But anyway, we get to that 6-person tag match, even though that AJ love did come out of the blue. But why can't she just... Oh, this is so frustrating. I'm going to take my bucks and go to America. Bryan, Punk, and Jericho in the main event, versus Mark Henry, Ziggler, and Otunga. You had Jericho celebrating via ringside. Let's get this out of the way with first. You have Jericho coming in the ring, riling up the crowd, getting ready to wrestle, tags Daniel Bryan and walks out. And to be honest with you, I felt this was more effective, a heel thing, than what he's been doing lately. getting the crowd all riled up, just about to wrestle, walks out like, I'm done. You're not seeing me wrestle. I thought that was probably the best they've done with Jericho so far.
Well, what I'm going to say about Jericho is, again, if they didn't have this match, it would have been another in-ring, no talk and out. So I'm thinking this was another way of him to get involved in the show without having to have another boring segment. So I think this was effective in some way.
It was more effective than his stupid promos on his own, I can say that. This match itself, it hypes up Punk Ziggler. We've also got hype there for Henry Bryan on SmackDown for the title. Don't know why it's for the title when they can just announce the triple threat for the Royal Rumble already. We get Henry and Bryan beating on each other outside the ring, going out. And then we get Mick Foley coming into the match saying, I've had permission from John Laurinaitis to come into the match. I'm going to be wrestling now. And then you get him beating Otunga with Socko, and it's like, that was a funny moment. Otunga jobbing to Mick Foley.
I think the crowd wanted to see Mick Foley again in the night, have him wrestle again, because obviously people really behind Mick Foley. But the way I saw him come down, I thought, oh dear.
I don't know. This main event was okay, I guess. You got the development of two feuds there. Although, to be honest with you, Ziggler wasn't really involved in the sort of main bit of the segment, because we had the whole win with Mick Foley afterwards. And then you had Johnny Ace coming out. John Laurinaitis, Mr. Excitement himself, whatever you want to call him out there in the YWC. He comes out and reverses the decision. And then you have Punk cutting this like sort of 2-3-4 minute promo, just chipping the fuck out of John Laurinaitis. And he fucking snaps, didn't he? He fucking snaps on Mick Foley. That was genuinely interesting, seeing John Laurinaitis snap the fuck out.
Well, after seeing Laurinaitis having boring segments in the past, just on his mic and on his phone and all that, he needed something to give him more of a character up there. I'm glad it was Punk who actually brought it out of him. Yeah. And he actually admits that he's going to try and screw Punk at Royal Rumble. So it all led to a big segment just for Laurinaitis.
It looks like both Cena and Laurinaitis tonight both embraced the hate.
They did indeed.
Interesting, eh? How much effect Kane is having on this show. I'll just say that. So the thing is, right, the only thing I had about this, right, was Ziggler was nowhere to be seen. And it's kind of like, is this feud Punk versus John Laurinaitis, or is it Punk versus Ziggler? That was my only little flaw I had with this segment. There was no Ziggler there, and it's kind of like, well, them two are wrestling at the pay-per-view. I know Laurinaitis and Punk are having a bit of a face-off, and I liked the face-off. It was good. And the way it brought out John Laurinaitis saying how he's sick of being disrespected, and he hits Foley with a mic. That was a genuinely interesting way to end Raw, despite the fact that he's going to be the special referee in that match. So.
And also, the end of Raw, it gave us a feeling that this is not going to be the end of Mick Foley. There's going to be some more involvement with him, either before Royal Rumble, at the Royal Rumble. So there's going to be some more involvement with him, which the fans are not going to complain, but obviously it just leave us wondering what's coming next.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought this main event was okay, especially the aftermath. That was quite interesting, actually, even though it was John Laurinaitis. Yeah, and it tied into the Rumble, which I guess we can only really think positively about because we haven't had any real build so far, and this show at least gave us some build to the Rumble.
It wasn't the most exciting finishes, but it finished with what it maybe needed to, because it needed with the main event, and then obviously the next thing was Punk and Laurinaitis.
Yeah, and I do hope to God they do a Dolph Mick Foley feud, and this is the seeds for it, because I would genuinely like to see that after the opening segment they had tonight. Overall feelings on Raw tonight, though, NJ? What were your overall feelings? Give it a grade.
Okay, well, being a ex-general manager of Raw, Eric Bischoff style, I want to say that the thing that didn't disappoint me was the fact that we got Royal Rumble hype, mention, build, more than what we've been getting in the past. So this show gave exactly what we needed to hear, matches made, so it was effective in that way. But the thing is, some of the matches we got, title matches on free TV again, the tag team had a switch on a non-SmackDown Raw. It was disappointing. The main event, it had a lot of going for it, different segments, different areas leading on to something in the next couple of weeks, so it was okay, yes.
Yeah, alright, Liam Gallagher, look-alike now. Well, I thought Raw, personally, was a bit better than previous weeks. Previous weeks, it's not been good, but this week, at least tied into the Rumble a little bit more. You have the whole Miz and Truth thing, Barrett and Sheamus thing. The World Heavyweight Championship got hyped a little bit, even though there's no match announced yet. The main event was pretty good. There were some good segments tonight. There was some bad segments, but overall, I thought it was a more decent show than we've had before. I'd probably say there was some bullshit in this show, of course, as always is on Raw. It's live and badly written and last-minute written. I'd give this show, it wasn't that bad. It tied into the Rumble. So I will give it a C+, I guess. I mean, it wasn't the best show, but it was better than what we've had before. I'll give it that.
The fact that the show didn't disappoint us with pay-per-view hype, it's going to get a strong C+ from me.
Yeah, so there we go. I mean, a more positive grade than we've done recently, isn't it?
It hasn't been.
Yeah, so there we go. So that's been our thoughts on Raw. Speaking a bit more positively about Raw this week, because it was a decent show. And do you know what? You guys get your thoughts in that comment section below, because your thoughts are always important to us. We will respond to you as soon as we can. But my God, with those glasses and that face, you got to end the video, NJ. Come on, you got to do it.
Thank you very much. Well, guys, this has been a good Raw, different to what we've been getting in the past. All we can say now is bring on the Rumble, bring on the Go Home Show, give us more what we need, more Rumble build. This Raw's not been bad, so leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And that's been it from the British Fist, Mr. Parkin, and me, NJ. Till next time, people. Goodbye.